Welcome to Lola's Frugal Life Podcast. If you're on a mission to be more frugal with both your time and money, you're in the right place. In this podcast, we talk about topics that help enhance living a frugal lifestyle. The goal is to save time and money where we can so that we can use the rest on what matters most to us. We talk a lot about both time and money management so that we can waste as little as possible on both. We do this while also embracing a progress over perfection mindset. If that sounds good to you, then please stick around for the latest episode right after a few quick words from our sponsor. Hi everyone, welcome back to Lola's Frugal Life Podcast. Today is going to be my weekly meal plan episode. I share this every single week on Wednesday. The meal plan starts the upcoming Saturday. This is the meal plan that I will be making for my family for next week. You can find a blog post that goes along with this episode every week on my website at lolasfrugallife.com, and there you can find links to any recipes that I share during this meal plan. So this week starts on Saturday, December 23rd. For Saturday, I'm going to be making oven-baked chicken, which is from bettycrocker.com. This is a really simple to make baked chicken dish. It's kind of like similar to like a fried chicken type recipe, but it's baked in the oven. The chicken gets coated with Bisquick mix, and you basically melt butter in a pan, and then you coat the chicken in Bisquick, and then you bake it in the oven. It comes out really good. I really love making the chicken that way. I'm also going to be doing carrot fries with ketchup-y ranch, which is from foodnetwork.com. I don't actually make the ranch mixture that it says for you to make with it, mostly just because I'm kind of lazy, but I use this recipe to follow to make the carrot fries. If you haven't made them before, they taste kind of similar to like a sweet potato fry, and those get cooked in the air fryer, or I'm sure you could just cook them in the oven. Also, the recipe may even be for baking in the oven, but I always make them in the air fryer. And then I'm also going to make Mexican white rice with that, which is from All Recipes. This is a rice recipe that has corn and peas in it, and milk and butter, and I think that's basically it. Maybe a few other seasonings, so that will go good with the chicken and the carrot fries. Sunday, December 24th, which is Christmas Eve. I don't normally share breakfast recipes, but just this time I will, because this is something I always make every Christmas Eve. It's bacon and egg breakfast tarts, which is from allrecipes.com. It's just a tradition. I started one year and I make them every year on Christmas Eve morning for breakfast. And then for Christmas Eve, to bring to my family's house, I will be making slow cooker Salisbury steak. This is a good recipe to bring to a potluck, because you can make the Salisbury steaks on the smaller side. And then I cook it in the slow cooker, and then I just transfer it into like a metal, one of those like throwaway, not metal, one of those like throwaway aluminum trays, and just bring it to the party. And everybody really seems to like those. So that's for Christmas Eve. On Christmas Day, I'm going to be making Always Juicy Baked Ham, which is from allrecipes.com. And then I'm going to be making mostly all the sides that I made for Thanksgiving, which is Chef John's Perfect Mashed Potatoes, Classic Baked Mac and Cheese, Corn Casserole, Creamy Cheesy Spinach, and Best Green Bean Casserole. And I think that's pretty much it. I will have to add some desserts to that, but I haven't gotten that far yet. All of those recipes, like I said, these will all be listed on my website on the blog post if you're looking for recipes for any of those. Tuesday, the day after Christmas, I do have a meal on my meal plan to make sheet pan chicken fajitas, which is from foodnetwork.com. It's just your typical fajita recipe with the chicken and the peppers and onions cut up and then baked in the oven. But I don't know if I'll actually be making that, because I'm thinking we're probably going to have a lot of leftovers from Christmas, and we might just wind up eating leftovers. But that's on the meal plan just in case I do need to wind up cooking a meal if everyone's kind of not wanting to eat the Christmas leftovers yet, or if we wind up doing it for lunch and we need something for dinner or whatever. So that's that. For Wednesday, December 27th, I'm going to be doing bacon wrap barbecue shrimp. That's from allrecipes.com. As I mentioned, every time I make this, I just take the bacon and cut it up and layer it over the shrimp, like more just like a regular like sheet pan type meal rather than wrapping it. It comes out just as good, and it takes a lot less time. And then for a side dish, I'm going to be making fried rice, which is from mydainysoulcurry.com. For Thursday, we usually do breakfast for dinner, or soup. I couldn't think. This week we're going to be doing breakfast for dinner. And this time we're going to be making sausage and cheese crescent roll breakfast casserole. It's like your typical breakfast casserole with it has sausage in it and eggs and milk and cheese, and then you put crescent rolls kind of in the bottom of the dish and then cover it with the mixture of all those other ingredients I just said. And I really like how that one comes out. So we're going to do that one for Thursday. And then Friday, the last day on our meal plan, happens to be our hamburger night. We do that every other Friday. So I just make the hamburgers with some ground beef and cook them up in a frying pan. And then we'll do some oven fresh seasoned potato wedges, which is from allrecipes.com. And then a can of pork and beans. The oven fresh seasoned potato wedges go really good with hamburgers, and they're really easy to make. You just take potatoes and slice them up into wedges and toss them in a Ziploc bag with some olive oil and seasoning. And then you just bake them in the oven. So I usually try to get those in the oven first and then start making the hamburgers so that they come out, about the same time. So that's it for this week's meal plan. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you back here next week.
So thank you for checking in for this podcast episode. And don't forget, you can always email me with any questions or suggestions at lolasfrugallife@gmail.com. You can follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Lola's Frugal Life. And you can find a blog post for most of my episodes and definitely all of my meal plan episodes at lolasfrugallife.com. You can also join our private listeners group at facebook.com/groups/lolasfrugallife. And if you enjoy the show, please make sure to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you listen from. And I would love it if you would screenshot the show and tag me on Instagram so I could see you're listening. Also, if you can please take a couple of seconds to rate and review the podcast. Those ratings and reviews are what help the show come up better in search results so that other people can find this podcast. So that will really help me in growing my audience. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have an awesome day.